Huayangosaurus. Huayangosaurus is a genus of stegosaurian dinosaur from the Middle Jurassic of China. The name derives from Huayang, an alternate name for Sichuan, the province where it was discovered, and saurus, meaning lizard. It lived during the Bathonian to Callovian stages, around 165 million years ago, some 20 million years before its famous relative, Stegosaurus appeared in North America. At only 4.5 meters long, it was also much smaller than its famous cousin. Found in the Lower Shaximiao Formation, Huayangasaurus shared the local Middle Jurassic landscape with the sauropods Shunosaurus, Datousaurus, Omeisaurus, and Protognathosaurus, the ornithopod Xiaosaurus and the carnivorous Gasosaurus. It was found in Huayang in China. Description: like other stegosaurians, Huayangasaurus was a quadrupedal herbivore with a small skull and a spiked tail. Like its more famous relative, Stegosaurus, Huayangasaurus bore the distinctive double row of plates that characterize all the stegosaurians. These plates rose vertically along its arched back. In Huayangasaurus, the plates were more spike-like than in Stegosaurus. Like Stegosaurus, however, it bore two pairs of long spikes extending horizontally near the end of its tail. Huayangasaurus had several types of osteoderms. On its neck, back, and tail were two rows of paired small vertical plates and spikes. On the rear of the tail, pairs of spikes were present forming the so-called thagomizer, a defensive weapon. Each flank had a row of smaller osteoderms, culminating in a long shoulder spine in front, curving to the rear. Huayangasaurus was one of the smallest known stegosaurians, at just 4.5 meters, 15 feet, in length. Discovery and species. In 1979 and 1980, remains from 12 stegosaurian individual animals were recovered from the Dashampu quarry near Zhejiang in Sichuan. They were named and described by Dong Zhiming, Dang Zilu and Zhou Shiwu in 1982. The type species is Huayangasaurus Taibai. The generic name refers to Huayang, an old name for Sichuan, but at the same time alludes to the Huayang Guozhi from the Jin dynasty, the oldest known gazetteer from China. The specific name honors the great Chinese poet Li Bei, whose courtesy name was Taibai. The holotype, IVPPV6728, was recovered from a layer of the Lower Shaximiao Formation dating from the Bathonian Callovian. It consists of a partial skeleton. It contains a relatively complete skull, 3 neck vertebrae, 3 back vertebrae, 4 sacral vertebrae, 20 tail vertebrae, 2 metatarsals, 3 phalanges, 3 plates, a spike and 3 further osteoderms. Several specimens were referred: ZDMD 7001, a more complete skeleton containing a skull, 8 cervicals, 16 dorsals, 4 sacrals, 35 caudals, a complete shoulder girdle, a left humerus, both ilia, a left pubic bone, both ischia, 3 metatarsals, 3 phalanges and 11 plates, ZDMD 7002, vertebrae, ZDMD 7003, vertebrae and a pelvis, ZDMD 7004, caudal vertebrae, CV 720, a skull, 28 vertebrae and 20 plates, and CV 721, 7 vertebrae. In 2006, Susanna Maidment, Guangbao Wei, and David B. Norman reviewed the material. In several specimens, ZDMD 7002, CV 720 and CV 721, no shared distinguishing features with the holotype could be established. They considered them no longer referable to Huayangasaurus. For CV 720, the reason was that this specimen could not be located in the collection. CV 721 was found to be so different that they suggested it might be a separate taxon. Mounted skeletons of Huayangasaurus are on display at the Zhejiang Dinosaur Museum in Zhejiang and the Municipal Museum of Chongqing in Sichuan Province in China. Classification. Huayangasaurus is sometimes placed within its own taxonomic family, Huayangasauridae, though this group has no formal definition or other content. It is also morphologically distinct from later, Stegosaurid, forms. Its skull was broader and had premaxillary teeth in the front of its mouth. All later stegosaurians lost these teeth. Paleobiology. Like many other stegosaurians, it had plates all down its back and spikes on its tail. 2 large spikes were above its hips, and may have been used for deterring an attack from above, considering as it was fairly short in height compared to later stegosaurians. Its plates were smaller than those of Stegosaurus, with much less surface area. Thus they would have been much less effective heat regulators, one of the postulated functions of plates.